back on Wednesday, the midpoint of the week, and we're back with another episode of Live Dogs. I'm your host Nick Mazone, and we're off to a great start of the week. Couldn't ask it to be any better. We started off 1-0 on Monday with the Chiefs. Went 2-0 yesterday. So we're already up 3.91 units this week. We hit 2 plus 150 dogs, which obviously helps a lot. And hopefully we can keep it moving today. It's actually weird. Yesterday I was saying that I was expecting some short shows because I didn't think that I would like playoff lines too much. But then here I am today, and I have a handful of picks for you guys. Originally had 5. Talked myself out of one this morning after putting in all the numbers last night. So I cut off the Marlins. I was so close to putting them in, but ended up not being too confident in it. But regardless, we're going to try to build on this 3-0 start to the week with a big game, big slate today. And first pick will be Reds at plus 110 versus the Braves. I will say I believe this game starts at noon. So if I do convince you, be sure to put that one in quick before the game starts. So it's Trevor Bauer, who is 5-4 on the year, but don't let the record fool you. In my opinion, I think he should win the Cy Young, even though he doesn't have the wins for it. He's got everything else. He's got a 1.73 ERA and a .79 WHIP. He's also amongst the league leaders in innings pitched. Not number 1, but I believe he's in the top 10, at least in the NL. So yeah, he'd be my pick for Cy Young. But he's going up against Max Fried, who is also in the top 5 or so in Cy Young voting, who was 7-0 this year with a 2.25 ERA and 1.09 WHIP. So, I mean, this is going to be the case in a lot of playoff games. You're going to get some of the best pitchers in the league going up against each other. But if you ask me, I do think Trevor Bauer is the better pitcher. So I would give a slight advantage there, but by no means is free to slouch. So you can take that however you want. But when we go into the bullpen, the Reds coming into the playoffs maybe have the best bullpen in baseball right now. So this is the last 2 weeks. Entering the playoffs, Reds top 2 in ERA, batting average against, and WHIP, while the Braves bullpen, not so much very good, but 19th in ERA, 23rd in batting average against, and 21st in WHIP. So definitely, if you still think that Fried has the advantage of starting pitching, it's an opinion. I'm not mad at it, but one thing that you can't say is that the bullpen's been better, and if Fried can't go 7 or 8, might be a little tough for this Braves bullpen. Meanwhile, the Reds are pretty much shut out in the bullpen. But you can go to the batting trends as well, and this is where maybe you get scared off a little bit. The Reds, 27th in batting average. I know it doesn't look good, but they are 16th in on-base percentage and 14th in slugging, so middle of the pack there. But the Braves have been hitting the ball well, 9th in batting average, 2nd in on-base percentage, and 5th in slugging. And one thing I will say, actually, I'll put the bullpen numbers back on the screen. Fried has only gone 6 innings once in his last 5 starts. So I maybe it changes, but I think this relatively bad bullpen will have more of a factor on the game. But I mean, I definitely don't think there's anything wrong with going with, in my opinion, the Cy Young winner and then having the best bullpen in baseball as a duo. So I definitely think that the Reds at plus 110 has value. And like I said, with everything with the pitching numbers advantages, I'll eat the batting disadvantage and hope for a low-scoring win. And I definitely think it could happen. So that's the first pick for today. Second will be the Astros at plus 135 versus the Twins. I mean, let's be real. We hit on this one yesterday. We at this point, it's almost principle. You have to go against the Twins in the playoffs, 17 straight losses. We're going to look to make it 18. But even if you want something more than just that, the numbers do point in the Astros' direction too. yesterday I was talking about how it's pretty much an even wash at the plate and in the bullpen, and the game pretty much played out that way. It was a 1-1 game, and up until that throwing error from the shortstop to second base, whoever you want to pin that on, but that's what broke the game open. It was a close game. I still think these two teams are very evenly matched, so to get them at plus 135, definitely enticing in my eyes. And then plus you get the starting pitching advantage, at least in my opinion, with Jose Urquidy, who is 1-1 with a 2.73 ERA and 1.01 WHIP, going up against Jose Barrios, who was 5-4 this year with a 4 ERA and a 1.32 WHIP. So if you really want all the numbers that I dove into yesterday, you can just watch the video yesterday on YouTube. And I broke down all the numbers in this game. But long story short, like I mentioned, at the plate, in the bullpen, they pretty much are the same exact team. Like one would rank higher in ERA, the other one's better in WHIP. It's just things like that. So like I said, I think the only difference here is the starting pitching advantage, where I give it to the Astros. And like I said, it's almost principle to bet against the Twins, and I can get the Astros as underdogs. So, I mean, I'm going to jump all over that one. And I think plus 135 gives a very good price. So, third pick is the White Sox at plus 110 versus the A's. Another good pitching matchup here. Dallas Keuchel, who was 6-2 this season, 1.99 ERA, 1.09 WHIP. Obviously, those numbers are very good. Going up against Chris Bassett, 5-2 this season, 2.29 ERA and 1.16 WHIP. Also very good numbers. I mean, obviously, you can give the edge to Keuchel if you want to, but it's two very good pitchers. I'm not going to lean heavy in one direction or put too much weight on it. But you can find some advantages at the plate for the White Sox. Actually, no, you'll see it in the bullpen. My apologies. But batting, pretty much even. Neither of these teams were too good to end the season. White Sox, 24th, 27th, 22nd batting average on base and slugging. A's, not much better. 23rd in batting average, 17th in on base, 24th in slugging. Just two teams that fell off, but I mean, I don't think anyone would argue that potential-wise for the offense, the White Sox have to be up there. Not only do they have the advantage, I think they're up there the entire league. I mean, we saw the run that they went on in that latter half of the season for a little bit, where they were the best hitting team in baseball. So the numbers don't give me any reason to not believe it. I know a little bit of a downfall at the end of the season, but we know what they can do, and it's not like the A's are much better. And at their peak, they don't go nearly as high as the White Sox either. So those are the batting stats, and we can do bullpen as well, where, like I mentioned, White Sox have a little bit of an advantage. 13th in ERA, 11th batting average against, and 15th in WHIP, while the A's, down towards the bottom of the pack, 22nd in ERA, 21st in batting average, and 22nd in WHIP. So, I mean, this is just, I see a slight advantage in the starting pitching. Like I said, you can call it a wash if you want to. I wouldn't be too mad about it. But you definitely got the advantage in the bullpen, and it's a relatively even at the plate, but you guys just heard my whole spiel on that. So I'll take the White Sox to take the 2-0 series. I think plus 110 is some good value. I don't think they should be underdogs. Don't think they should be that huge of favorites either, but I mean, they're underdogs nonetheless, so plus 110. And the fourth and final pick of the day, the one that brings the most value in my eyes, is the Cardinals at plus 145 versus the Padres. People that watch the show know I do like Kwang Hyun Kim. He's a very good pitcher, went 3-0 this season, 1.62 ERA and a 1.03 WHIP, so very good numbers there. Going up against Chris Paddock, who's probably the worst pitcher pitching today. 4-5 this season, 4.73 ERA and a 1.22 WHIP. So, I mean, those numbers aren't even that bad by MLB standards, but that's how good the rest of the people pitching today are. But definitely, I don't think you can say any other way. Cardinals got the starting pitching advantage, no doubt. Paddock has 10 earned runs in his last 16 and a third innings, which is also just his last 4 starts. So 10 runs in 16 innings compared to Kim, who has 5 earned runs in his last 28 and a third. 28 and a third innings, and those are his last 5 starts. So I mean, there's just really no doubt here who the better starting pitcher is. And now we can get into the batting numbers, which is why I would think the line looks this way, because honestly, I don't really understand it too much. Cardinals, one of, if not the worst team at the plate to end the season, ranking 28th in batting average, 29th in on-base percentage, and 30th in slugging. But let's be honest, the Padres, not much better. 22nd in batting average, 23rd in on-base percentage, and 19th in slugging. So yeah, sure, the Padres are a little bit better, but I mean, they're still not good. So anything can happen there. And you can also go to the bullpen, where both teams have decent bullpens. I don't think there's any crazy advantage either way here. Cardinals ranking 12th in ERA, 9th in batting average against, 18th in WHIP. Padres 16th in ERA, 5th in a batting average against, and 10th in WHIP. If you wanted to, you could give an ever so slight advantage to the Padres. I wouldn't be mad. But like I said, similar to the batting, I just don't think there's much of an advantage. While they might be a little bit better in the numbers, is that really going to make a difference? I don't know. I'm rolling heavy with Kwang Hyun Kim having a good outing. Definitely think the advantage is there. Hopefully they give him some early run support, and he can go 7 strong, and hopefully the bullpen doesn't blow it. But regardless, I think plus 145 is a great value on this. 2 teams that I think are evenly matched, and then plus you get the clear-cut better starter in Kwang Hyun Kim. So, yeah, those are my 4 picks. Like I mentioned, I really did come super close to having the Marlins up there. You can get them at a good number. But I talked myself out of it at the last second. Definitely look into that. You can do some of your own research on it. If you like it, play it, of course. But yeah, I mean, it's a pretty jam-packed schedule for sports. We got 8 playoff games in baseball. Also got the NBA Finals kicking off. So yeah, it should make for an exciting day. Real quick in the chat, someone's asking what ERA and WHIP means. ERA, earned run average. I mean, yeah, you can look it up. It's earned run average. It's how many runs the pitcher's let up that are actually his fault, minus errors and stuff like that. And what's WHIP? It's walks and hits plus inning pitch. So basically, on average, how many guys is he allowing to reach base per inning? And I'll say I think WHIP is one of the most important stats in baseball. I think a lot of people think it's important. I think it's more important than that. But yeah, just to answer those questions. But that's all I got for you guys today. We started off great, hoping to keep it rolling today. In terms of the week, even if we lose all 4 of these games, which don't get me wrong, I do not expect to happen, we'd still be even on the week since we're up 3.91 units through 2 days. Yeah, I mean, I think this is all the makings to be a good day and ultimately a good week. So thank you guys for tuning in. I'll be back tomorrow for another day of this. We got a lot more baseball coming up, so I'll be here at 11. And good luck to everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in, and hopefully I will see you guys tomorrow. So have a good one.